I am indeed 2009's funniest college student in America. And I told Tim, if you don't fix that fucking light, I'm walking. I don't perform half-light situations. I feel like he built me up a little too much. So we're going to see what we can do about that. How you guys doing? This is fun, right? I'm having a great time. I'm drinking beer, and there's, stuff back there. Sweet. I took this, I was secretly hoping that my friend would drive me here, but I felt like he should go ahead and get drunk too, so we took the subway. I hate the subway. I think everyone hates the subway, but my least favorite thing is the conductors, like depressing-ass announcements. They're always so hostile. Like they sound like the next person that holds the door open, they're just going to blow their brains out. And what I don't think they're taking seriously is the fact that we're on our way to work. Like, we have a shitty job, too, and they're responsible for setting the tone for our whole day. And they're not, like, taking that seriously at all. You know who knows how to do that? Radio DJs. I think all of the conductors should be replaced with radio DJs immediately. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's your old pal, Coyote Dan, helping you rock away the Monday morning blues. Coming up this hour, we've got Stillwell Avenue, Bay Parkway. And coming up next, it's Didmus Avenue. Stand clear of the closing doors. You're riding the F train. And then he just plays Radar Love for like 45 straight minutes. That's how I want to start every morning. This is great. Ooh, I had a friend tell me that the only reason $2 bills are still in circulation is because of strip clubs. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but the idea is, like, if you go to a strip club and break a 20 at the bar, they'll give you your change back in $2 bills so that you're, like, obligated to double tip the dancers. I don't know if that's true, but it's super brilliant, really smart, also horrifying. Because that means that every time my great aunt sent me a $2 bill on my birthday, it was probably covered in cooch and blood. Because you gotta figure that those bills go from the bank to the club to the dancer, and the dancer buys vodka, meth, and diapers, and then the money goes back to the bank. So, I guess my real concern is, where is my aunt getting the $2 bill? Pray to God it's the bank. She is a dancer. Hot dance. Amazingly limber woman. That's all true. I think she's a lesbian, though. Ooh, guys. When I was 20 years old, I wrote a comic book. And I know what you're thinking, yeah, it was awesome. It was starring me. And I know that sounds a little conceited, but in my defense, I only gave myself one superpower. It was like, oh, what is it, flying? Laser vision? No. My superpower? Murder punch. What was the name of my comic book? Murder Punch. What was my name in the comic book? Calvin Cole. AKA Murder Punch. My nemesis was Christina, the assistant manager at the clothing store where I worked at the time. I only wrote one issue. It had 3 panels in it. That is all that I needed. Panel 1 is me at work trying to do the crossword, minding my own business. Christina gets all up in my face. She's like, oh, you need to space the hangers, blah, blah, blah. I'm terrible. So on the second panel, I whip around and yell, murder punch! I punch her fucking face off. It's awesome. It's totally rad. She's just dead. So then, in the third panel, I'm standing over her, and I say something badass, like, oh, sorry, Christina. I'm not going to be working for you anymore today. I already punched out. Working on a movie script as well. It's pretty sweet. This is so funny, guys. I'm like feeling like the vibes. I'm on a little bit of drugs, but I'm feeling like the air is nice and the people are nice. I'm telling jokes. I got the lights. This is not nearly the best show, but definitely the prettiest show I've ever done. Because it's like mind-boggling. It's very distracting for me, actually. Hard to concentrate. Everything is just so lovely. For a second, I thought Tim was giving me the light, but apparently he's photographing me, which is the...
You look so good right now.
Tim. Who's surprised? Oh, you guys. This is so fun. I used to work at a retail clothing store in college, and then I moved here and was unemployed for several months. And then I got a job at a call center for a medical alert company, and it was basically the worst thing that's ever happened to me in terms of getting paid for something. like, there's definitely worse things that have happened to me, but it's the worst thing I've ever gotten paid to do, which I guess is not bad when you think about what a lot of people go through. I'm getting philosophical now. But, yeah, I worked at a call center, and I did a lot of, like, data entry and bullshit like that. And one guy I was talking to, he gave me his email address. And his email address was hillbillyky. This is interesting. I figure there's like a 99% chance dude's just from Kentucky. But there's like a 1% chance that he manufactures and sells lubed mountain people. I'm really interested in that. Because it's like, what are you going to make that out of? It's probably like spit and animal fat, like hair for some reason. I wouldn't want it. But that's like niche marketing, you know? Like, it's all about how you advertise that product, which I found really fascinating. So I wrote a radio ad for it. It's Hillbilly KY, because incest is rarely consensual. It would work better as a TV ad, because I think you need to see me bite my lip in order to sell it properly. I think I'm experimenting with destroying my momentum after every joke. It's like a really interesting, fun way to do this. I think it's like maybe not having a roof. There's something like I saw you. There's like a
I want to make sure he's.
Yeah. Just talk to me. Yeah, no, I think it's like not having a roof. Like the laughs, it's like you hear them and then they just escape into the atmosphere, and it's just over. It's just over, and you have to like really move fast, which is not the pace I intended to keep. So I'll tell you about this one last thing, since Tim is like in the back frantically giving me the light, endangering himself at these heights. I want to talk about like this one thing, but before I do, I need to establish like some basic principles, like some truths that we can all agree on before I move forward. So I want everybody to like just agree with me when I ask you to, and everything will run really smooth. So the first thing is, as a general rule, we can all agree that a person should not kill another person, right? Like that's and like definitely a last resort situation. Thank you. Okay, so we can all agree that that's a thing, right? We're all on board. Number two. If, on the other hand, a person wants to do something to their own self and it doesn't hurt anybody else, that's their business and nobody should interfere with that, right? That's up to them. Okay? They're not hurting anybody. We can all agree about that, right? Okay. Number three. If a human being were trapped naked in a tiny room for several months and the only other thing in the room was a box, they would have to open the box, right?